Before we go road tripping in Texas wine country, we had a few questions like, what is Texas wine? How's it different from wine around the world? So we went to the expert. Boada of VinoCadre is the man to know in Central Texas, and he's gonna fill us in on the booming wine business. Boada, thank you very much for meeting us out here today. Again, I didn't think I'd have to twist your arm to come and talk about wine at a beautiful winery. So this is pretty much where you're most at home, no?
Oh, absolutely.
Tell us about VinoCadre and what is it you do?
Yeah, so VinoCadre, it's a platform I developed. It's kind of built on two platforms, one for the consumer and the other for wineries. The consumer, I try to initiate what I call wine elevated experiences. So I can either go to their home, meet them in a winery, take it to corporate parties, do speaking engagements. I can bring chefs in and interact with me. On the winery side, I've done everything there is to do in wine, from being in the vineyard to winemaking to be a GM. So I help consult, and I have a team of wine specialists that work with me and really build a brand.
In Texas wine country, in the hill country, everybody knows Andre. I mean, it seems like your expertise and your perspective is really valuable here in this place in particular because it is growing so quickly.
Yes, it is. So in the area right now, just to kind of give you some insights,
Sure.
There's about 80 wineries in the Texas Hill Country.
Okay.
And it kind of reminds me of Sonoma County about 20, 30 years ago. If you go to Sonoma now, there's 400 or 500 wineries in that same little 30-mile radius. So what's going to happen here, guys, is that Texas will expand and the hill country is going to keep on growing. There's 40 more wineries coming next year alone.
Wow, alone?
Right.
Wow, it is incredible. It's going to be great to really watch that unfold. Can you kind of walk me through, let's say, Texas wines versus California versus Old World?
Right. Okay, so you have the Old World where you have the history of winemaking.
Sure.
You have Italy, France, Germany, Spain. So if you go to the Old World, it's a real different dynamic. Their growing season is not like ours, and it's not like California. So what they have, they're more natural. They don't use irrigation. They try to use natural yeast. So what you get is that real authentic flavor. They also have cooler temperatures, so the alcohol comes down. Flavor is a little softer, not as big and bold. But if you come into California,
Okay.
complete opposite. They try to do everything they can to build as much flavor, as much sugar out of the vines to create more alcohol. California is like the complete opposite of Europe. And what happens in the middle? Texas.
Here we are.
Texas is kind of like the tweener of all tweeners. I mean,
Okay.
when you think about the flavor profiles,
Sure.
it's not lean and mean like Europe. It's
Okay.
not big and bold like California. It's got its own personality. And they're really good food wines. And what I've seen from the grape growing areas, really interesting flavors.
And you say that there is maybe a grape or some grapes that we really need to keep an ear out for, that they might be making waves here.
Right. The grape that I'm really looking at from the red wine standard is Touriga Nacional.
Did you hear that, everyone?
I'm telling you guys. So Touriga Nacional is a Portuguese grape. It's like a Cabernet Sauvignon, but it has a really high note of aromatic and then a really good strong base to it. So it's like a high-low personality, right? But the wine just got approved in Bordeaux to be another grape into the Bordeaux blending process.
Wow.
So that tells you a lot in
That
itself.
does tell you a lot.
So get ready for that one. That's on the red wine side. The white wine, the big ones here are Roussanne Marsanne, which are Rhone-style grapes, maybe some Albarino, but Touriga Nacional is my go-to red wine. If you can find that in Texas.
Yeah.
It's probably one you never heard of, but you'll love it.
Well, Andre, I can't thank you enough for lending your expertise. There are definitely a couple glasses of wine with our names on them.
Yeah, we need some wine.
Boada, everybody, thank you so much for joining
My
us today. We
pleasure.
appreciate it.
Yeah.